I want to talk to you about something that I've watched happen probably hundreds of times. Whether you're moving to another country, recovering from a divorce, changing careers, starting a business, or just trying to reinvent your life in some significant way. Every single one of these experiences follows the same three stages. And here's what I've learned. Most people quit at stage two. They quit because they think something is wrong with them or wrong with their decision or maybe even wrong with the place that they choose, but actually they're right on schedule. They're experiencing exactly what they're supposed to be experiencing. And if they just understood that stage two is part of the process, they might push through to stage three. And stage three is where everything changes. So today I want to walk you through these three stages. I'm going to use my experience moving to the Philippines as the case study because I've lived this personally and I've watched hundreds of other expats go through the same exact arc. But I need you to understand, this applies whether you're in Manila, Lisbon, Mexico City, or just moving across the country for a fresh start. The location changes, but the psychological arc is identical. Let's jump into it. Stage one is what I call the fantasy stage. Some people call it the honeymoon phase. And this is where everything feels absolutely incredible. You've made the big decision, you've taken the leap, and now every single thing is new to you. Let me tell you what this looked like for me when I first moved to the Philippines full-time in January 2020. Everything was cheap, everybody was super kind, the weather was perfect, I could get a massage for $5. I could eat every single meal out and still spend less than I would cooking at home in California. People were respectful. There was no road rage, no aggression. To this day, I've never heard one person yelling at another person in public where I live. Nobody was trying to jump in at the last second to take my parking spot, or there was no road rage on the way to work. I felt like I had discovered the secret that nobody else knew about. And I remember thinking to myself, why doesn't everybody know about this place? Why isn't everybody leaving and doing this? That's stage one. And here's the thing about stage one. That high that you're on, the excitement of everything being new, it makes you blind to things that would normally bother you. Little frustrations that don't really register because you're just so thrilled with the big picture. If something's out of stock, you don't care. If a rule doesn't make sense, you laugh it off. If someone says okay, but really means no, it's just charming. It's all part of the adventure. Now, whether you're moving to another country, starting a new career, or rebuilding after a major life transition, stage one feels the same. Everything is possibility. The old problems are gone. The new problems haven't revealed themselves yet. You're living in the gap between what you left and what you haven't discovered yet. And it feels incredible. Here's what you need to know about stage one. It's real. The good feelings, they're real. The excitement, also real. But it's not the full picture. It's not a lie, but it's not really the truth either. It's just the first part of the story. And the problem is, most people think stage one is the whole story. They think, this is it. I figured it out. This is what my life is going to be like from now on. And that belief is what destroys them when they hit stage two. Stage two is where most people quit. I call it the disillusionment stage, or sometimes death by a thousand cuts stage. For me, this hit probably somewhere around year two in the Philippines. The honeymoon was over, and all those little things that I had been ignoring, they started to accumulate. All those little cuts that I didn't really feel started to feel a bit painful. Hearing out of stock for the 10th time that week, rules that didn't make a lot of sense. I remember one time going to a pool and they said, the rule here is that you have to wear a swimming cap. And I'm thinking, I'm sure if I was a Filipino with long hair, that would make a lot of sense. But you're asking me to wear a skin cap in a pool? I don't think I'm going to be the one clogging that up. But the rules were the rules. All of a sudden, things that seemed charming at stage one now felt a little bit ridiculous and a little bit exhausting. And here's what happens in stage two that makes it so dangerous. You start to think, something is just not quite right. Maybe I made the wrong decision. Maybe this place isn't what I thought it was. Maybe I'm just not cut out for this big transition, this big change I made. And because you thought stage one was the full picture, because you thought that high would last, Stage two feels like a failure. It feels like something broke. And so you quit and you go back home, or you change careers again, or you end that great relationship you started, or you move to a different city and you restart the whole process thinking the problem was the choice you made. But let me let you into another secret. The truth is that stage two is not a sign that you made the wrong choice. Stage two is part of the whole process. It's supposed to happen. Let me explain what's actually going on. In stage one, you're running on adrenaline and novelty. Your brain is flooded with new experiences, with dopamine. Everything feels good because new equals rewarding to your brain, but that can't last. Novelty wears off, your brain adjusts, and once the newness fades, you're left with reality, not the fantasy, not the nightmare version either, just reality. The place you moved to has a bit of problems, or that new career you took, not as perfect as you thought, or the relationship that you're in starts to have a little bit of friction, or maybe the business you started has challenges. All this is normal, but in stage two, it doesn't feel normal. It feels like everything is falling apart. And this is where most people make the mistake. They think the solution is to go back, or to move again, or to try something else. But they're not solving the problem. They're just resetting back to stage one somewhere else. And they'll do again stage one. This feels amazing. They're just resetting back to stage one somewhere else. And they'll do stage one again. And they'll say, this feels amazing, until they hit stage two again and then quit and repeat this pattern for years. I've met people who have lived in multiple countries. They're not exploring. They're addicted to the reset button. They're addicted to stage one. This is why some people will start a new relationship. It feels amazing. Then they'll find maybe once the rose-colored glasses get off, the person isn't as perfect as they thought, even though still wonderful, but they're addicted to new. And I think whether you are addicted to moving to a new country, or you're addicted to trying a new career, or you're addicted to relationships, whatever new is only going to be new until it's not. People that are addicted to stage one are never going to stay anywhere long enough. They're never going to try any new career long enough. They're never going to be in a relationship long enough to reach stage three, because stage three is where the actual transformation happens. Stage three is what I call the integration stage. This is where you become someone different than who you were when you started. For me, this happened somewhere around year 4 or 5 in the Philippines. I wasn't the same person who moved here in 2020. I had changed, not because the Philippines changed me, but because I learned what to keep of who I was, what to let go, and what to adapt. I learned that some things I thought mattered didn't matter to me anymore here. And I learned that some things I didn't value enough, those things matter more than I realized. Stage 3 is where you stop fighting reality. You stop trying to make the new place like the old place. You stop expecting people to operate the way you're used to. You stop being frustrated that things are different, and you start accepting that different is just different. Not necessarily better, not necessarily worse, just different. Once you accept that, you can start navigating your new reality instead of constantly wishing it was something else. In the Philippines, I started to get frustrated when people would say, yes, I'll do this, or yes, I'll meet you at that time, or yes, that's okay. And what they really meant was no, or maybe, or I'm not sure. Culturally, you just don't say no here. And so all of those tiny cuts of being told one thing but it meaning another started to add up. For a while, I just felt like, why are people always lying to me? Why are people being so disrespectful? And I started to think that something was wrong with the culture. But in stage 3, I realized, okay doesn't mean yes here. It just means I heard you. Or sometimes it means I don't want to say no to your face because I feel that would be disrespectful to you. And once I understood that, I could navigate it. I could ask follow-up questions. I could check in just to make sure it was still going to happen. And I could adapt my communication style. And then eventually the frustration started to disappear. Not because the culture changed, but because I stopped expecting it to be like my culture. That's stage 3. You become bilingual, not just in language, but in culture and communications, and most importantly, in expectations. You could operate in both worlds because you're not the person you were when you started, but you're also not trying to be someone else. You're integrated. You're something new. And this applies to every kind of reinvention. If you're recovering from divorce, stage three is where you stop trying to get back to who you were before the marriage ended. You accept that you're someone different now, and you build a new identity from that acceptance. If you're changing careers, stage three is where you stop comparing yourself to people who've been in the field for 20 years. You accept that you're starting over, and you build competence from that foundation. If you're moving to a new city, a new country, stage three is where you stop trying to recreate your old social life. You build new friendships on new terms. Stage three, integration, is where the transformation actually happens. But you can't skip to it. You have to go through stage two, and most people don't make it. So why do most people quit at stage two? I think there are a few reasons. First, they don't know stage two is coming. They think stage one is not a stage. They think that it is the present, future, the whole reality. And when stage two hits, it feels like a failure. Second, they don't know that stage two is temporary. Now I know the real stage. This is how it's going to be from now on. So they quit before it gets better. And last, they don't have the support to get through it. They're isolated. They don't have people around them who have been through this before. And so they think they're the only one going through this. And then they quit because they feel alone and they're just too impatient. They want the transformation now. They don't want to have to sit in the discomfort of stage two. So they restart thinking a different choice will skip the hard part, but it won't. Every reinvention has a stage two. The only way out is through it. So how do you survive stage two? Well, first, know it's coming. If you're in stage one right now, if everything feels amazing and you're wondering why everyone doesn't do this, I'm telling you, stage two is coming. And when it hits, you need to remember this is supposed to happen. This is part of the process. Second, don't make big decisions at stage two. When you're in the middle of feeling disillusioned, when everything feels hard and you're questioning everything, that's not the time to quit. That's not the time to move. That's not the time to burn it down and start all over. I get it. It's tempting, but don't do it. Give yourself time. Sit a bit in the discomfort and let it pass, because I promise you, it will pass. Third, find people who've been through this. Talk to people who are in stage three and ask them what stage two was like for them. Ask them how they got through it. You need to hear from people who made it to that other side, because when you're in stage two, it's very hard to believe that stage three exists. And fourth, be patient with yourself. You're not failing, you're not broken, you're not weak. Stage two is hard. You just got to tell yourself you're human and you're going through a process that every single person who has ever reinvented their life has gone through. The only difference between the people who make it and the people who don't is that the people who make it stay long enough to reach stage three. Those are the three stages. Stage one, fantasy. Everything's new. Everything's exciting. You're blind to the problems because you're running on a bit of newness, a bit of novelty, and hope. Stage two, disillusionment. The small things add up. You question everything. Most people quit here because they think something is wrong. Stage three is integration. You become someone different. You're not who you were, but you're not trying to be someone else either. You have transformed. The Philippines is my laboratory for the understanding of this process. I've lived it. I've watched hundreds of people live it. But wherever you're starting over, whether it's Manila, Mexico City, other side of your city, or another state, whether you're reinventing yourself as an expat like I did, changing careers, a new relationship, or whatever it is, a new chapter of your life, you're going to go through these three stages. And if you're in stage two right now, if you're questioning everything, if you're wondering if you made the wrong choice, I want you to hear this. You're right on schedule. Stage two is supposed to happen. Not a sign of failure. It's a sign that you're in the middle of the process. And if you can just stay long enough, if you could sit in the discomfort long enough, stage three is waiting. And stage 3 is where you discover who you actually are when all the old scaffolding is gone. And I promise, guys, it's worth it. As always, thank you so much for taking the time to watch. Take care.